this very nice Kato SD9 lettered for Chicago and Northwestern. It's a pretty nice paint scheme. It's I really like those safety stripes here. Overall, it's in pretty good shape. It should have two horns. It's got the big one there. The handrails are all there. Looks okay, except for the back here. It was dropped and it's missing a couple of steps. That doesn't drive me crazy. Once I got it up on the tracks and running, it won't be too objectionable. So let's go ahead and remove the shell. Now, someone put a conversion kit for micro trains. This engine would have been sold with just the rapido couplers. The micro train conversion kit is well put. I don't need to change anything there. So I'll remove the shell and we'll get to work on cleaning this up. The SD9 shell has two tabs that you can pull on to remove the shell. It's very, very easy to do. Now I took my shell apart and I'm going to clean it with some soap and water. So while that's drying, I'll take a look at my drive system. The gas tank, very easy to remove. Headlights, light boards, and then I have to work with these screws on the side. Make sure you have a good clean work area when you start working on this. You don't want to lose these small parts. Same thing for the other side. There we go. And then two trucks will fall out, which is okay. These, it's very easy to remember which order they go back in. They used to have a coupler here. Some of the U30Cs were like that too, with rapido couplers on the end. Just take a look inside. It's held back by these little tabs here. These are about the same drive system as the SD40. They run very quiet and very smooth. Everything is really good. So I'm going to put just a little bit of oil, just one drop here and here, and that should be enough. When I work on my trucks, I don't use any oil, but I want to make sure that they're 100% clean. So I take them apart and I will take the wheels and clean them with my rag, like I always do. But that looks very, very clean to me, right from the get-go. But still clean them with my rag, because it just feels right. So repeat this process 11 more times. As you put them back together, make sure that you line up the end of the axles with the contact strips. Make sure that every axle is in its bearing. There's also two little pins to hold them where they should be. If you get it wrong, you'll feel it right away. You can test it with your finger. Then these, they'll only have one way to go. They need the holes for the gears. So let's put it together, make sure you get everything lined up, and it should click. And then test it with your finger. You should have no rolling resistance whatsoever. Thing of beauty. And we can repeat the same process for the other side. Now we can put everything back together. Don't forget these little insulators. These little guys, you cannot run your engine without them. This little guy fell out, so I'm going to put it back together. It's a small part, but very important. So I put the two frame halves. I already tested it on my bench. Everything's 100%. So all that's left to do is put it back together. Put the two trucks back in. And these little guys, as you put them in, make sure your contact strips line up perfectly. Very important. Without that, you're not going anywhere. And I'm going to put the two screws back on it off camera. So before I put the shell back on, I'm going to go test it on the track. My prediction is that it's going to run very well. It runs very quiet. The KD conversion kits are black, so I've got some green paint. I'm going to take a minute to paint them green so they can match the rest of the shell. So I give it some time to dry, and now it looks pretty good. I'm going to reinstall my couplers, and I'll put the shell back together. Remember that on an SD9, the air tanks are in the front, not in the back. So when you put it back together, make sure you put it back like this. So here we are, nice and finished, and now it's time to run some trains. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly had fun making it. See you soon.